Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine AI, the big language models, as raw, dangerous electricity. It's potent, right?
Absolutely potent, untamed, but also pretty volatile.
It's the ultimate lightning bolt waiting to be harnessed.
Yeah.
But for the average person, the average business owner, it just feels complicated. It feels messy.
And this is where the historical parallel is so important. The real wealth, it wasn't made by the people who first grabbed the lightning bolt.
No. It was made by the people who built the simple, safe appliances, the tools that made all that power useful for everyone.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today, the blueprint for creating those modern AI appliances. We're talking about focused, profitable, micro tools that solve very specific problems.
Yeah, our sources lay out this amazing guide on how to build these kinds of businesses without needing to be, some kind of coding genius.
So our mission here is to pull out the core concepts. First, we'll talk about that business shift, why selling appliances beats selling raw power. Then we'll get into the 6 steps.
And we'll focus on that hidden value, and then how to scale from 1 tool to 10.
Let's start with that fundamental truth, raw AI. Like just using ChatGPT or calling an API directly, it's powerful, but it takes expertise to get a good result every time. It's a workbench.
And most people don't want a workbench. They want a finished chair.
They want a result. Yeah, that electricity parallel from the late 1800s is perfect. Raw electricity flowed into factories, and you needed engineers just to manage it.
The real explosion only happened when people started packaging it. The light bulb, the washing machine motor.
You're turning raw complexity into predictable utility, and that changes the business model completely.
Right, so you're not selling AI, you're selling a solution.
Exactly. A plumber doesn't care about your prompt engineering skills. He just wants a tool that writes a perfect invoice in 5 seconds. That specificity is where the money is.
We saw this with Microsoft and Copilot. They didn't sell GPT 5.2, they sold a business tool that fit into workflows people already had.
It's intelligent repackaging, and you can do the same thing on a much smaller niche scale.
Okay, but this brings up the big question, the friction point for anyone listening. Why would someone pay me $5 a month when ChatGPT is basically free?
That is the question.
Yeah.
And the answer is convenience and consistency, period.
It's about mental energy.
It is. A normal user, they have to write these long paragraphs, they have to define the tone, they try 3 or 4 times and still get something kind of mediocre.
They're lazy in the best way. They want to save time and effort, and you're removing that trial and error.
Precisely. Let's take a common pain point like writing wedding vows.
Oh, that's a great example.
The standard AI way, you're starting with a blank box. You've got to explain your whole relationship history, the tone, the length, and then the AI spits out some poem you never asked for.
Right. But the appliance way, you've already done the hard work. The user just sees, 3 boxes?
3 simple boxes. Partner's name, years together, funny or serious. They click a button and boom, the output is exactly what they needed.
And they don't need to know what a prompt is, which is just the instruction you give the AI.
Or what tokens are those little pieces of text the AI processes. You handle all that complexity behind the scenes.
So if the value is all in that consistency, how do we actually guarantee the output is always high quality?
The value is in expert control over the hidden instructions.
Okay, so we've established the why. People will pay for convenience. But let's get into the how. What's the very first step in this blueprint?
Step 1, and this is maybe the most important, find a boring problem.
A boring problem.
Yeah.
Not trying to write the next great novel.
Definitely not. Don't try to solve philosophy. Look for small, high-pain searches people are typing into Google every day.
Things like how to write a resignation letter or real estate listing description generator.
Yes. Those searches mean someone has an immediate headache and your tool is the aspirin.
Okay, so you find the boring problem, then what's next? Steps 2 and 3.
Interface and connection. The skin of your appliance has to be simple. It should look more like a calculator than a chatbot.
A headline, 3 to 5 input boxes, and 1 big generate button. Why not a chatbot, though? They feel so much more modern.
Because a chat interface invites chaos. People start asking weird questions, they try to break it. A simple form creates guardrails. It forces the user to give the AI exactly what it needs for that one single problem.
You're managing their expectations by limiting the input. That makes a lot of sense.
And the connection is simple. You're just the middleman passing that form data to an API like OpenAI or Google's.
Which brings us to the core of it. Step 4.
The secret sauce. Backend prompting. This is where you make your money because this is where you inject your expertise. You write a long, detailed, hidden prompt the user never, ever sees.
Okay, so let's stick with the real estate example.
Hmm.
The user just puts in bedrooms, key feature, location.
Right. But your hidden prompt, the one you send to the AI, it might be 5 pages long. It'll say something like, act as a luxury real estate copywriter with 20 years of experience.
And you give it rules.
All the rules. Use exciting adjectives, keep it under 150 words, and this is critical. Do not use emojis. You're doing all the expert work for them.
So you're basically absorbing the cost of that specialized knowledge.
And honestly, it's not always easy. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when I build these things. I've had hidden prompts that work perfectly 100 times, and then suddenly the AI decides to start every response with, hello there.
That's the vulnerability moment. How much time did you waste figuring that out?
Oh, probably 8 hours on just one tool, just refining what we call negative constraints to kill those unwanted intros. That hidden struggle, that's the value. The user pays $5 to save 5 minutes, but I absorb the 8-hour setup costs. It's a great trade for them.
Which flows right into step 5, lock the output.
Exactly. If your tool gives legal definitions, you tell the AI in that hidden prompt, return only the definition, no preamble. That consistency is what builds trust.
And then finally, step 6 is to price it. What are the options there for a beginner?
Well, free for an email signup is a great way to start, build that list. But for actual money, you could do a small one-time fee, maybe $9.
But the subscription is the scalable model.
The low-cost subscription, yeah. $5 or $10 a month. For a business owner with a daily pain point, that's an easy decision.
So if a tech is pretty simple, what's the fastest way to turn one successful tool into 10?
Use horizontal scaling to copy the engine across different markets.
Right, let's talk about that technical foundation, because this isn't something that needs a ton of money. You can use WordPress or a no-code tool like Bubble.
Yeah, the website builder just handles the form. The actual intelligence, the API calls are incredibly cheap. Pennies per query. You could generate hundreds of high-quality articles for like $1.
Okay, but that's where people get scared. If the API only costs $1, what happens if my tool goes viral? Am I going to get hit with a $10,000 bill?
That's the fear, but it's totally manageable. You just set billing caps in your API dashboard. Or you can limit how many times a user can run the tool each month. The cost is so low that even at $5 a month, you're profitable almost immediately.
So one person on a laptop could build this in a weekend.
A focused weekend, yes.
So let's get into that horizontal scaling. You've got the real estate generator working perfectly. How do you copy that engine?
It's minimal effort because you're only changing 2 things. The labels on the input boxes and the text of your hidden prompt.
So bedrooms becomes mileage, swimming pool becomes condition.
And you just update the hidden prompt, act as a trustworthy car salesman, change the word count, maybe. And now you have a second product with, 80% of the same code?
And you can just keep replicating that. Pet adoption bios,
Dating profile,
job descriptions for HR.
Amazon product descriptions. Each one is a new, independent stream of revenue, but the effort to launch gets smaller and smaller.
Let's bring this to life with a few more real-world examples from the sources. These solve really specific, expensive pains.
Okay, think about the policy translator. A user pastes in some dense legal or insurance paragraph.
And the tool rewrites it in simple 5th-grade English, but keeps the legal meaning. People will absolutely pay for that kind of clarity.
Or the Excel formula generator. This one's great. The user just types, add column A and B if column C says yes.
And the tool gives them the exact formula to copy and paste.
Yeah.
It saves them from looking foolish in front of their boss. Huge value.
And what about for teachers? The teacher lesson planner.
Yeah, input the grade, the subject, the topic.
And out comes a full 45-minute lesson plan with objectives and activities. You just saved a teacher 2 hours of their Sunday. That is a phenomenal value for $5 a month.
Whoa. I mean, imagine having hundreds of these little niche tools, each one generating predictable revenue, solving one simple problem for one specific audience. The scaling potential is it's massive.
And it's all about execution, not some brilliant invention.
So, okay, the tool is great. It solves a real problem. How do we make sure that people who need it can actually find it?
You fuel the engine using targeted marketing that's specific to the problem.
The guide breaks it down into 3 strategies. Let's start with the long game, which is SEO.
Search engine optimization, yeah. You target the keywords for the problem itself. Help with Excel formulas. And here's the key. Because your tool is actually useful, people stay on your page.
Google sees that retention.
Google sees that high engagement.
Yeah.
And it boosts your rankings over time, way more than just a blog post would.
Okay, strategy 2.
YouTube tutorials. Short, problem-solving videos. How to write a lesson plan in 30 seconds. You just show the tool working, link it in the description, and you're done. The audience finds you.
And the third one is community.
Community immersion. Facebook groups, online forums. You find where the real estate agents or the teachers are hanging out. And the rule is simple. Do not spam them.
Right.
You go in and you offer the tool for free for a week in exchange for feedback. People love free tools, and if yours is good, they become your best marketers. They share it for you.
So let's pull all this together. The big idea for you listening. Building a profitable AI business isn't about creating some super intelligent robot.
No, it's about being incredibly helpful on a very small scale. The path is clear. Find a boring problem, build a simple form, connect an API, and write a fantastic hidden prompt.
And then market it to the people who are already looking for that specific solution.
The market is absolutely ready. There are millions of searches happening every month for problems that can be solved this way.
So don't wait for the perfect revolutionary idea. Start small. Start with a boring problem.
Because that's where the reliable profit is.
Go build your appliance.